We are indeed very honored by your kind acceptance for giving us your valuable time for our upcoming issue of business magazine, Bizin, published by our institute, Dr. D.Y. Patil B School, and enriching our readers with your expertise and wisdom. Along with me are E&I executives of Startup and Innovation Cell of DYPBS, D.Y. Patil B School. So may I please request Aditya to go ahead with the questions?
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, sir.
Hi.
So, sir, my first question to you is, what drove you to become an entrepreneur at such a young age of 19 years?
It didn't have anything to do with my age. It was more about a purpose. I like solving problems. I grew up in a family where my mother was a social worker and people would come to her to get things solved. And I could see that she could use political influence. She could use her social influence to get things done for poor people, needy people. So it was always in me to kind of do something that would help people. And as I grew up, I realized it's two things, either power or money. So I was not allowed to join politics. And I was told that, that's not for me, it's too dirty. And my only option was entrepreneurship, to solve problems with technology, with financial freedom and other things. So that's how I kind of chose my life and career while in college itself. That why wait till graduation? Why not utilize this time and build my business, solve a problem and make people's lives better?
Hello, sir.
Am I audible?
Sir, yeah, we lost you in the middle.
What was the last thing you heard?
I think you spoke about financial freedom. You wanted, yeah.
So rather than going in the political route, I went in the entrepreneurship route, and it's like, why wait till graduation when I can start while in college? And identified a problem, figured out a way to solve it through technology, and got started with my entrepreneurship journey.
Okay, sir. So, sir, my next question to you is, how does it feel to be awarded as Indian Youth Icon, which is issued by Fame magazine in 2009? What is
19.
the science behind, 2009,
2019 actually, yeah.
Okay, fine. So what is the science behind your irresistible charm?
I don't know if there's any charm here, but in our Vedic scriptures, it is defined that Krishna means all attractive. And one who connects with that all attractive personality, some of that attractiveness also comes through that. And attraction includes knowledge, includes power, includes beauty, includes renunciation, strength, and all of those things. I don't have a lot of those things, but I have a little bit of knowledge and I have a little bit of, some of those things. And to that, I'm using that to make people's lives better. So when you make others smile, they are bound to like you. Of course, some people are envious of you, but most people appreciate that somebody is doing good. And so that's what it is. I don't, in my conscious ways, never try to harm anyone, no matter who it is. If I can do no good, I will not do any harm. That is one of the things my grandmother taught me. But if it is for people's good, people like that. And over a period of time, what happens is your actions become your reputation, right? One can be doing some overnight good things, little bit of charity here and there, little bit of good talks here and there. But when you consistently, over a period of time, keep doing good work, those who even gossip, they stop gossiping because they realize that there is something genuine about this person, that they have a genuine interest in serving others. And that truth, becomes the reality eventually. Initially, people are like, oh, why is he doing? He must be having some intention. I remember one PR lady, when I was starting Kolkata Ventures to help young entrepreneurs of East India. I just came back from America. And this PR lady, I was like, I need your help to promote this and get the word out there. And she's like, why would anybody want to help others build their business? It makes no sense to me. I wouldn't do it. I have my own business. I'd rather grow my business and not create any competitors. And she told me, I won't help you. I think you have some other intention behind it. And she's still my Facebook friend, and she has seen me grow over the years, and now she appreciates a lot. But at that time, it was so funny that she couldn't imagine that somebody would take the initiative to make others' lives better. So, but yeah, when you do it over a period of time, people see the results and they understand that what is what.
Thank you, sir. So we all know that you are the great grandson of Sarojini Naidu. So my next question to you would be based on that, and the question is: being the great grandson of the Nightingale of India, Sarojini Naidu, how do you view the poetry?
When I was in ICAC board, I remember one time there was a poetry ad that says Sarojini Chatterjee, because she wrote that before she was married. I was like, my God, this is so awesome. I went to my grandmother and told her. She's like, do not talk about this to anyone that we are related to her. And I'm like, why? And she's like, she's an embarrassment. Now, I love my grandmother to death. Please don't get me wrong. But in our family, people were embarrassed of the fact that Sarojini Naidu married out of caste, went abroad to study. As a married woman, she was tugging shoulders with all the bigwigs of that time, other men, right? She didn't do anything that a woman was supposed to do 100 years ago. She didn't fit in that stereotype. As a result, she was an embarrassment to her family in Dhaka and Kolkata. So when I see that, to me, it's very clear that when you do something extraordinary, there are a lot of people who are not going to approve of it. And that's okay. That means you're doing something out of the ordinary. If everybody approves, if you get a government job, of course, everybody's going to approve of it. But guess what? It is nice. Government jobs are nice, but it's not something legendary or extraordinary. That's why everybody approves of it. People don't approve when you go beyond mediocrity, right? And that's what her inspiration to me is. Whenever I get dejected by people criticizing me for my decisions in any part of my life, I always remember that she also had to go through a lot more than I can ever imagine, and that's okay. I'm on the right path then.
Commendable, sir.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes,
sir. So,
Aditya.
yes, sir. So my next question to you is: you have done your early education in India and later you moved to US universities for your higher education. So, what are the significant difference you find between Indian and US universities?
Absolutely. It's the practicality of it. I'll tell you about one of my Cambridge exams. So before US, I did my Cambridge O levels, A levels, and a physics exam. This is what it looks like, right? So we have physics practicals in our schools in India, but then in Cambridge, I think it was a 4-hour exam. The first 2 hours, you're given a scenario, like you're lost in this island and you have such and such tools, and those are real tools that are available to you in the lab. And they're saying, now devise an experiment through which you can create a boat or something of that sort. And you have to put the motor pieces and everything together, right? And then make that experiment happen in the next 2 hours. So basically, you devise the experiment yourself with the tools you have, and then you actually make it happen in practicality. And no matter how much mugging of definitions you do, if you don't have the concepts clear, you can't pass the exam, right? So that kind of practicality is what differentiates the Ghasapita, Ratta Maro education system versus the more practical, action-oriented education system, where the concepts are clear to you, you get through. Even if you see the application process in the Indian education system, the application process requires you academics. But in the Western universities, when you go, US, UK, Canada, wherever you go, they require a statement of purpose. They require recommendation letters. They require proofs that you have done something for society. They require awards and things like that. What have you done outside classroom? So they require you to be a complete human being, and you're judged not only on your academics, but you're judged for your extracurriculars. You're judged for what people think of you. You're judged for your character and your vision going forward. And that actually sometimes becomes the deciding factor for your getting in or not getting in. When the grades are all same, those are the things that define that this person has a high potential future versus this person who just, is a bookworm. So again, on every aspect, it's about who you are more than what you know.
That was wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. So next question, to you is, can you please tell us something about your entrepreneurial journey till date, especially keeping the Kolkata ventures that has mentored 550 plus revenue generating startups?
Sure. My entrepreneurial journey started with a very tiny project, which was, MySpace was going down, Facebook was coming up. And at that time, there was the kids, the girls aged between 8 and 13, they were in that zone where they want to be on social media, be cool. And parents are like, no, there are pedophiles and cyberbullies. You're not safe there. And it was illegal for below 13-year-olds to be on social media because of safety concerns. And we came up with a necklace, which is like Apple Watch at that time, 10 years before Apple Watch, which basically could sync in the real world with another necklace, and they become friends in the real world, and you become friends online, right? So it was a friend authentication device, communication device in the form of a smart necklace. So think of a smart jewelry. And girls loved it, moms approved it, and it was a great success. We got bought out for wonderful amounts of money. And then we built many, many businesses thereafter, artificial intelligence, food science, consumer tech, all kinds of things. Finally, when I came back to Kolkata, I was kind of like, I was supposed to take care of family business, which is manufacturing. And I quickly realized I'm not the kind of guy who can shout at people and command respect by authority. I'm very sweet and soft and friendly. And that doesn't work in the manufacturing business, because you're supposed to be a caroused type of person. So for me, I was like, well, I'm missing my startup world, and it seems like there is not much happening here in East India, especially. So I started Kolkata Ventures, where I wanted to kind of create that Silicon Valley atmosphere that I got, but was not present in India. And it was a dream project. So my co-founder joined me from IIT Kharagpur. He was a gold medalist. Neeraj Krishna and myself, we started Kolkata Ventures. IIT KGP became a knowledge partner. As soon as US government saw my name, because I was on Obama's White House panel for entrepreneurship education, they immediately said, hey, we have built your career in US. Why don't you allow us to market you? I'm like, please go ahead and market me. So US government, US Department of Commerce came on board. They said, we want to support Kolkata Ventures. And they told me, it said, when people are financially secure, they don't think about terrorism. They don't think about hurting America. They don't think about wars and becoming Naxalites. So it is in our best interest to promote entrepreneurship. That's what we are doing. I'm like, fantastic. So we got a lot of these supports, and very quickly we grew, because it was an empty field. Nobody was doing much with entrepreneurship. Even investors had no idea what they were investing in. Young entrepreneurs had no idea how to deal with startups. And we brought in lean startup methodology, and instantly we were showing success, growth, revenue, funding, and Halena Parichat, it says, you're known by the fruits you bear. So the results speak for themselves. And over the last 6 years, there's been 550 plus revenue generating startups, 5,200 plus jobs. Mamta, Modi both appreciate me because I create jobs, I create economic development. And for those who are interested, I have created a Philosophy Friday, that every Friday these entrepreneurs can come and understand Bhagavad Gita and practice that in their business, in their lives, and become not only business leaders, but leaders of character, leaders who can take the age-old wisdom of Gita and become more productive. So very satisfying, to say the least. It's very satisfying to see young people becoming financially free, becoming character, leaders, not fake, valuation, not inflated egos, not all the garbage we see in the business world or political world, but the positive kind of things, the true reflection of what society can be when Bhagavad Gita is at the forefront.
So this is what captivated me when I heard you in one of your uh, talks at ISKCON Chowpatty, and I always wanted to talk to you someday, and I'm very grateful that we are able to meet in such a beautiful way. Maybe we can take it ahead in a much beautiful manner, sir.
Absolutely. I hope I get to meet you in person. I'll be most fortunate.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I need to talk to you something more maybe after this interview.
Sure.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned about Bhagavad Gita, so I would like to ask you the key learnings that you have acquired from Bhagavad Gita that helped you to flourish your entrepreneur skills.
Certainly. As an entrepreneur, you're not just a manager. You are somebody who's inspiring others. And one of the things Krishna speaks about inspiring others is yad yad acharati shreshtas, like the leaders, the shreshtas. Whatever they do, the acharati, the activities that a leader does, common men follow. So one of the things about my management style is I follow my own instructions and create an example. This is how to be. And then I tell them, this is how you should do it too. So for them, it's not like, oh, do as he says, not as he does, but do as he says and as he does, right? So that exemplary leadership. So I have to be very cautious how I speak, how I react. That means I have to be controlled in my emotions, in my anger, in my even when I'm fighting someone, right? And I am going through, I have been through situations where people are doing drugs in my company apartment, and I am directly liable for it. Like if a police catches them, I am screwed. So I'm super angry, but at the same time, dealing with such situations with a level head that is legal, that is exemplary, and it doesn't create enemies. Of course, it creates enemies that you can't do. Ex-employees will always talk bad things, no matter how much you try. But I'd have done my best. So Bhagavad Gita allows you that reign to control the mind and the senses, right? Krishna says acquire higher taste over lower taste. So generally what we do is we look at our faults and we try to fix them. Actually, what happens is by trying to fix them, those faults become more powerful because we are focusing on the faults. But Krishna says with higher taste, conquer lower taste. So don't worry about the faults, focus on the good things. And as you focus on your strengths, your weaknesses become weaker and your strength becomes stronger, right? There's anger management in chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita. Krishna speaks about how from, you meditate on something, you get attached to that idea. Then if it doesn't meet his expectations, frustration comes. From frustration, anger arises. From anger, you lose memory, you forget who you are, and you say and do terrible things. 8-step process of how anger happens in a microsecond. When you recognize that, you can stop at one of those points before going into anger, right? So a lot of these things is about mind control, sense control, leadership, even understanding people's gunas. Krishna says, Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam. There are 4 Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Now we know Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, horrible caste system. But it's not by birth. It's by people's qualities. And if you can understand who falls in what category, you can actually understand what they're motivated by. A lot of times entrepreneurs tell me, oh, I don't have money to pay all that salary. How do I motivate my employees to stay with me? The answer is Brahmanas are motivated by fame and learning and inquiry and honor, right? Kshatriyas are motivated by control and power. Vaishyas are motivated by money. Shudras are motivated by fear. So when you understand who falls in what category, you can actually motivate them with the right kind of dose, not just money. Money is not the answer end all be all for everyone. So learnings like these, when you know, boy, oh boy, you become a powerful CEO. There are so much more I can go on, but these are some, preliminary to the movie.
That was really blissful, sir. So my next question to you is quite relatable to the Bhagavad Gita itself. So next question is, your tireless efforts in serving the Indian youth through entrepreneurship and management education using Bhagavad Gita's techniques are fascinating and commendable, sir. So can you please share some of your nuggets with your readers in this regard?
I just shared. whatever I shared just now, that applies.
Okay, fine, sir. So our next question is based on the entrepreneurship. That is, like we know that entrepreneurship has seen as all over, it's a booming platform. So many young students are getting influenced and desire to take on this venture. So, however, should or is everyone capable of doing the same?
No, absolutely not. It's really rare to find a true entrepreneur. Now, what's happening is entrepreneur has been glamorized. I remember 2016 when I was going from TV channel to TV channel, wanting to start a entrepreneurship show. People were like, "Sir, you give us money, we'll give you time, but nobody will watch it because most people like politics, cricket, and cinema." And you are not, entrepreneurship is not glamorous. Today, it's not that. Entrepreneurship is glamorous. Shark Tank is popular show. There are many other popular shows on MSNBC and other places. Now, the point is, because of the glamour factor, what's happening is what used to be back in the days, you get a girl by having a DSLR camera. You get a girl by having a guitar. Today, you're like, I'm a CEO, I'm an entrepreneur, and you get girls by doing that. That's not the purpose of entrepreneurship. So there's a lot of people who think it's cool, and that is how you get girls. Us men do that, and that's a riffraffs. But then there are people who are purpose driven, who are like mad for a purpose that drives them beyond money, and they want to solve that problem. And they have the skills, the intelligence, and the energy to make it happen. Now, very few people have that combination, right? Skills are not there in most people. Energy sometimes is like, mere se nahi hoga. I'm not Ambani, I'm not Tata, I don't come from a rich family, that. Or sometimes just the intelligence is not there and you think you're the most intelligent person. That paradox. People who are not very intelligent think they're most intelligent. People who are very intelligent think they're very stupid, right? The more you know, you think the less you know. So that paradox also happens. People who are not intelligent and they don't have that capacity to really build a business. They might take some brand and take a franchisee and be that kind of an entrepreneur. But building a product, scaling it up, raising money, it takes a lot. So it's not for everyone, and it's madly, crazily hard, right? The initial days you'll be spending 16 to 18 hours working. Your parents will not support you. Your girlfriend or boyfriend will leave you. Your friends will ridicule you. They'll show you, look, I got my first car, my first house, and you're still struggling. With that mentality, how many people can continue? Very less. So even from that end, somebody's like, bahut kar liya startup. Now let's go get a job, right? So there is all of these, and beyond that, there is success. So most people don't have the patience to fail, to get rejected, to struggle, and get to that point beyond which there is success. So it's not for everyone.
Okay, sir. So what are the essential skills to become an entrepreneur?
First thing is written and oral communication, because that's something you'll do constantly. You're selling constantly. You're trying to get co-founders on board, you're selling them on your dream. You're trying to get investors on board, you're selling them on your projections and how your business will scale up. You're trying to get board of advisors, you're constantly selling. So the ability to communicate in such a way that you can get the other person to act according to your will is effective communication. And that in writing form and spoken form is the number one skill an entrepreneur needs to have. Number two is project management. The ability to take something big, cut it down into small pieces, put deadlines on it, put deliverables on it, and manage a team to get that project done. That's number two. Number three is logical thinking. So somewhat understanding of coding, algorithms, how technology works, right? And also that helps in logical decision making. Crucial. Next thing is understanding social media, how to be visible on social media. Jo dikhta hai, wo bikta hai, right? So if you're not visible on SEO on Google, you're not visible on SEO on LinkedIn, if you're not visible on SEO on Facebook and Instagram, you don't exist. If you don't exist, nobody knows how awesome you are. So somewhat understanding of digital marketing skills, understanding data analytics, understanding money management. Again, college doesn't teach you these things, but understanding how money grows, where to invest, how to prioritize money, how to use the credit system, how to use the various financial tools that are available to an entrepreneur. These are some of the things that if you know, life becomes a lot more easier to handle as you go through the journey of entrepreneurship.
Sir, in that case, what according to you do you think that any three mistakes that any budding entrepreneur should avoid in their life?
Certainly. Don't hire people who are college students, because college students don't have skills. They have a lot of enthusiasm. They have project work, so they'll quit in the middle and you'll be in trouble. So that's number one. Do not hire college students to do professional work that you're going to charge money for. Number two is don't incorporate your company unless you're ready to take in money and open a bank account. You're just spending money and the time is ticking, so wait off, spending the incorporation money. People think incorporation and boom, I'm done. Don't go crazy over logo and names. If you can get a good enough name that has a URL, fantastic. Just don't think that, oh God, it has to be the best name in the world and spend like months and months trying to figure it out. More mistakes. Finding a co-founder who's just like you. If you're a techie and your co-founder is also a techie, and you both are very similar, mistake. Your co-founder should be somebody who's complementary, is opposite to you in terms of skills. Like what is your strength and weakness? That person's weakness is your strength and your weakness is their strength, right? That should be your co-founder, but both should have the same value system. They should align on the same vision and mission going forward, but they should be complementary in their skills and qualities. So generally people go for their roommate as their co-founder or a brother for co-founder. Don't make that mistake unless they have the complementary skills. My YouTube channel, there is actually a video, the top 7 mistakes that startups make. You could watch that, but these are the things I could remember, so I shared with you.
Sure, sir. So, sir, how would you inspire you who are aspiring to become an entrepreneur in today's competitive world?
Find a problem, don't go for an idea. Generally people think I need that Microsoft idea, I need that Google idea. Ideas don't make anything. Find a problem and the solution will evolve into something you could never imagine. If you found a problem, let's say there is oxygen crisis in Delhi during Corona. Can you imagine the solution where Tata is closing down a steel plant and getting industrial oxygen for health purposes, right? The solution appears from nowhere. If the problem is acute, it's painful enough that people are willing to pay to solve it, the solution will innovatively come to you, not through you, but through other people's ideas, through crowdsourcing, through various feedback and whatnot. So that's the first thing, always remember. Number 2 is, if your business problem or idea is so-so, it's not something you think is earth-shattering, but your team is wonderful, you will succeed. If your team is shitty and you have a great idea or problems to solve, you will not make it, because with the average team, you will fail. It is all about people that makes a startup successful. And thirdly, look at the future. Don't look at yesterday. Don't copy what happened 10 years ago. If you're copying Zomato and Swiggy, they are already 10, 15 years old companies. Look at tomorrow with 5G technology, with IoT, with crypto, with all these things, with cyber security issues. What are some of the problems of tomorrow that people are going to face? Am I audible? Hello? Hello?
We got you back.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard?
Yeah, don't look at the, something you were talking about the future.
Yes, sir. We were talking
So
about the
you
future.
should be able to look at the future and see what are the problems of tomorrow that you can start solving today with cybersecurity, 5G technology, with crypto, with all of these things coming in. What are the problems that are going to arise tomorrow in the next 3 years, right? And how can you start working on those problems today so that when those are at their crescendo, you are already ready with a solution and there is money to be made, like Paytm. They knew digital economy is coming. They've been working for 10, 15 years before the demonetization happened. The day demonetization happened, they went and all out. 300% growth of Paytm, right? So you have to be ready for that opportunity. You have to predict that opportunity ahead of time. So you have time to build up the technology, the scalability, the product, so that when that hits, as they say, the shit hits the ceiling, you're ready with your product and services.
Okay, sir. So, as a PGDM student, and we are in such an age, like where we are very much confused what to do, what not to do. So, how one can actually realize what is their dream or ambition of becoming an entrepreneur?
Just do it. Don't think so much. There's no loss in the process. Because what happens is, even if you fail, you learn so much. One of my mentees, Sujit Simon from Chennai, he graduated from college and got into his startup. He wanted to work for Google. I said, why don't you build a company that Google buys out? He's like, oh, never thought like that. So he built his company. He was building an automotive product, a physical product, got it manufactured from China. He got Mahindra and Maruti and all these companies, to buy his product. And boom, pandemic came. As soon as pandemic came, those companies backed off and he was struggling, zero revenue. His wife was making 2 lakhs a month and he was making zero money. So he was feeling a lot of pressure. Finally, 2 years of pandemic, and he's like, sir, I have no money. I'm struggling. Can I get a job? I'm like, go right ahead, get a job and start startup again after 3-4 years. He said, fine. Applied for a job in Mahindra, which required 12 years of experience. He had only 3 years of startup experience. But guess what? The hiring manager said, I want that guy and I want him only. I don't want anybody else. So his 3 years of experience saved him, 9 years of time. Right? So 12 years job he's getting with 3 years of experience. Not only that, they doubled his salary. He got the job, and within a few months, he started getting all these certificates and everything. And he's like, sir, I'm doing very well because of my startup experience. I have a 360-degree understanding of how this business works. So I'm doing very well and I'm enjoying my job. I'm like, fantastic. And then I think a month and a half ago, he told me, sir, I'm going with Anand Mahindra to Germany as a part of his entourage. So he's reached that level in his company because of his startup experience. So the point is, if you succeed, fantastic. Financial freedom, all the good stuff, TED Talks, this, that, okay. If you don't succeed, still you're far, far ahead of your peers. So why not try? There's nothing wrong in trying, and you will come out of it victorious, regardless this way or that way. You'll learn so much more. You'll be far more educated than others. It'll be 10 times more than an MBA.
Sure, sir. Sure. So could you please guide your younger readers with the tips to create a lasting impression in a job interview?
When you're going for a job, it's basically a selling opportunity. You're selling yourself. So don't oversell, don't undersell. Have a smile. People are emotional beings. Understand that. They make decisions emotionally first, then they rationalize it with logic. If you don't believe me, think about the $2 billion market of products that lie in front of the check-in counter at a shopping mall. It's called impulse buy products. When you're standing in line to pay for your things you bought, you see those handkerchiefs, those socks, those little key rings, and you look at them, you touch them, you look at them, you touch them, and you pick them up and you put it in the shopping cart. That's a $2 billion market. We are emotional beings. We didn't need that. But we can be manipulated into buying something. So similarly, when you're in a job interview, understand people are emotional beings. They have to like you first, then they have to like your resume. So if you come in with a smile in your face and you say, talk to them in a way that they can appreciate. If it's a boisterous person, you're high energy. If it's a soft-spoken person, soft energy, right? Reflect their energy, communicate well, talk about how their company benefits from you going in. Not like, I want to really work for you, but your company is looking for these skills, and I have very painstakingly acquired these skills, and these are the proofs through my past internships, and these are the projects I've done outside classroom. These are the things that I have acquired that I think can add tremendous value to your role, right? So selling means talking about the benefit of how I'm here to benefit you, not how I'm here to rob you. I want that salary. No, I'm here to give you my work, and you will give me salary out of reciprocation. right? Once you have that clarity, you can focus on the selling points that that company needs for their job position, right? And rather than remembering your weirdness, let them remember the highlights that you have done. So do some projects and activities which you can use as highlight points, where you can say, hey, I did this project in half the time and yielded so much revenue for my last internship, or I did blah, blah, blah for my last internship. So that, I'll give you an example. There was, we were doing a speed hiring. It's like speed dating. There's 90 seconds you get with each person, and you have the resume ahead of time. This fellow, so it was a software engineer role that I was hiring, and this person, my budget was $80,000 a year, and this person came and he showed me his phone. He didn't show me his resume. He showed me his phone. He said, "Sir, these two apps I have built while in college. This one has 50,000 downloads, 4.5-star reviews. This one has 75,000 downloads, almost all 5-star reviews." I looked at it, I opened those apps, and I was like, I want you, and I want you now. I'm going to offer you $120,000. Yes or no? I got him on board, right? Because practical, he's showing me what he has done, and it was a done deal, right? I could see they were not fake reviews, they were real reviews. So that's what it requires. So when you're going into a job interview, don't go with what everybody else is doing. Actually go with concrete evidence, how you'll add value to them, and let them fight over you rather than you fighting over the job.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So as we are coming to the end of our interview, I just want to ask one last question, and that is, can you please share your stories to enlighten the world, which is very close to your heart?
Can you share, please?
Sir, I just want you to share one of your success story. Yeah.
So it happened actually 2 days ago. So as I told you, Philosophy Friday, so I have been teaching Bhagavad Gita and apply that in your business, in your life, and all of that. So a week ago, somebody from that group, Philosophy Friday group, wrote to me saying, "Sir, my school is doing its first event, and I would like you as a chief guest to please come and honor these kids." I was like, fantastic. So he has been studying the Gita and he has been practicing it, it seems. So I went to his school and I saw how he has combined education, entrepreneurship, and spirituality to build a school that has 700 students, 700 lives that are being nurtured with spiritual principles, high-tech academic integrity, and a lot of love and care from the teachers that are in line with our Gurukul system, our Vedic system. So for me, that was a great success. That somehow I was instrumental in teaching Gita to an entrepreneur who has built a business which is spiritually strong, using education to transform lives, and as an entrepreneur, he's profitable.
Aditya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You were expecting more? I'm done.
No.
I know he's
Thank you
quite.
so much.
Okay, so it was really very enriching to listen to you right from the beginning when we started with the question, how did you think of becoming an entrepreneur at such a young age? And you said age doesn't matter, it was the purpose. And throughout the interview, I could really see that whatever you're doing is with passion and with a purpose. And towards the end of the interview, I could see you smile and say that yes, the purpose with which you started, mentoring people for entrepreneurship, that satisfaction is there in your face, that can be seen. So I really thank you very much for your valuable time. And I had one more.
Can you just give me 1 second? Just give me one second.
Yes. Yes, sir. So I just had one proposal. What we had discussed over phone a couple of days back.